Improvement Pill here. Recently, I've been following the news on the new coronavirus pretty closely. And I might be paranoid, but I feel like at the rate this is advancing, it will soon be an out-of-control worldwide pandemic with millions of infections. Hopefully I'm wrong, and by the time this video is animated and uploaded, it isn't as widespread or out of control as I feel like it might be. But in the case that I'm right, one of the best things you should be doing other than taking preventative measures is to boost and strengthen your immune system. See, unlike bacterial infections, which can be fought against using antibiotics, if you have a viral infection, it's almost entirely up to your immune system to fight it off. Even if you go to the hospital, unless they've managed to create a vaccine or discover a cure since the writing of this script, all they can really do is help support you. They basically just keep you alive so that your immune system can fight longer. So I think it's extremely important to talk about a couple of things that you should be doing every single day in order to get your body battle ready to fight off any infection that comes your way. So today we're going to talk about the 7 things you need to be doing to boost and strengthen your immune system. Quick little disclosure, I am not a licensed health professional. Take all the advice I am about to give with a grain of salt and ask your family doctor before making any lifestyle changes. Other than that, let's jump right into it. Starting off at number 1, we have cold showers. A study conducted in 2015 took over 3,000 participants who never took cold showers before and had them take 90-second cold showers daily for just 30 days. The researchers found a whopping 29% reduction in sickness absences for those in the group that stuck to this regimen. That is an incredibly high number. But what's happening within your body when you take these cold showers? Why is it so effective at warding off sickness? Well, scientists have discovered that when you take cold showers, your body actually ends up producing more white blood cells. These are essentially the foot soldiers of your immune system. When your body is under attack by a bacterial or a viral infection, your white blood cells are the ones that rush in to eliminate the invaders. And fun fact, some of them do this by literally devouring the enemy. Pretty cool, huh? And this isn't the only benefit that comes with cold showers. Cold showers have been shown to promote weight loss, increase willpower, reduce depression, improve your skin and hair, promote faster muscle recovery, and reduce stress. Which brings us to the second thing you should be doing to strengthen your immune system, which is reducing stress. In 2004, Professor Suzanne Segerstorm of the University of Kentucky reviewed over 300 studies on the effect of stress on our body and health. Her meta-analysis found that long-term stress leads to a significant decline in one's immunity in regards to all aspects. This occurs because when you are under stress, your body produces a hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol isn't inherently bad. It's actually good for you in the short term because it helps your body reduce levels of inflammation throughout the body. But if you are stressed for long periods of time, your body will continue to release cortisol and you start building up an immunity to it. The cortisol starts becoming less and less effective at doing its job, which eventually causes you to start suffering from more inflammation throughout the body. Now, you've probably heard about inflammation before, but why is it considered to be bad? Well, inflammation is your body's natural response to any form of harmful stimuli, whether it's a physical wound, toxic compounds, or even pathogens such as bacteria or viruses. So it's actually not a bad thing in the short term, just like how cortisol isn't bad in the short term. But when you suffer from inflammation for long periods of time, it starts to damage your healthy cells and organs, including your brain and heart. Which, needless to say, is not good if your body also has to deal with a viral infection at the same time. Which is why you need to be reducing your stress, and one of the best ways to do this is by meditating, which has been shown time and time again in numerous studies to significantly reduce levels of stress. Next up on our list, the third thing you should be doing every single day for your immune system is making sure that you're getting enough vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually one of the most important vitamins when it comes to a properly working immune system. It's so important, in fact, that almost all white blood cells have vitamin D receptors on them. Why is that? Well, vitamin D plays a sort of balancing role. See, your immune system is a very complex and delicate system that requires just the right amount of stimulation in order to function at its best. If there is too much stimulation, you end up with autoimmune disease where your immune system ends up attacking your own body. But if there is too little stimulation, you become more prone to infection and illnesses, and vitamin D is what helps regulate this balance. It's so important, in fact, that a study conducted in 2017 by a Professor Adrian Martineau, who just so happens to specialize in respiratory infections, coronavirus, found that taking vitamin D supplements reduced the odds of developing respiratory infection by a whopping 42% in people who had low levels of vitamin D, which, fun fact, according to a 2011 study, 41% of Americans have. So there is a decent chance that you might actually be deficient when it comes to this extremely important vitamin. But the only way to make sure of this is to get your blood work done, which is why I'm partnering up with a special service today that I've personally been using a lot called Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked delivers discreet lab-accredited testing kits directly to your door. All you do is collect a little sample, send it back, and in only 2 to 5 days, you will have your test results. It's super simple. You never have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to take off a day of work or make an appointment. The testing can be done completely anonymously, and the best part is, unless you have amazing insurance coverage, it is far cheaper than what it would cost to get your blood work done at your local clinic or hospital. I'm talking about like 10 to 20 times more affordable. I personally recommend taking a look at your vitamin D levels and also your cortisol levels, which again is related to stress, so that you can gain some insight on how your body is currently functioning. They also offer testing for things like testosterone, estrogen, your thyroid, and even iron, which all play huge roles in things like your energy levels, your mood, and your overall health. And they even offer full STD checks. And the best part is I've actually managed to work out a special deal with them. You can get 20% off anything in their store. All you have to do is go to www.trylgc.com/improvement pill and use coupon code PILL20 for 20% off anything in their entire store. Full disclosure, I am an affiliate for Let's Get Checked, so I will be getting compensated if you decide to try out their service. Now back to the topic at hand. If you find that you're deficient in vitamin D, the best thing to do is to either get more sunlight or to start supplementing with vitamin D if you live in an area where there isn't much sunlight. Moving on, the fourth thing you should be doing every day in order to make sure that your immune system is functioning at its best is making sure that you're getting enough high-quality sleep. Numerous studies have found that when you are sleep deprived, your levels of T cells go down. The T cell is a special type of white blood cell that plays a major role on the front lines against bacterial and viral invaders. So needless to say, it's pretty bad to have reduced levels of T cells if you are trying to fight off an infection. Other studies have found that lack of sleep causes a reduced production of antibodies when people are given vaccines. Now, this is pretty important because antibodies are one of the main tools needed to fight off viral infections. I like to think of them as special homing missiles. When you are infected with a new virus for the first time, your body will start creating these special missiles that are uniquely designed to target and destroy this specific new virus. After fighting off the infection, your body will keep the blueprints to remember how to make these missiles, so the next time this same virus comes around, you will be able to quickly produce the right antibodies and eliminate the enemy before it can make you sick. This is basically how vaccines make you immune against certain viruses, by giving you the blueprints ahead of time. The rate of which your body is able to produce these antibodies after a new infection will determine how quickly you recover. So if the production rate of these antibodies is slowed down significantly because of lack of sleep, you will get sick faster, stay sick longer, and have much more severe symptoms than if you were getting proper amounts of sleep every single day. So try your best to get a full good night's of sleep, which can range anywhere from 6 to 10 hours, depending on person to person. Next up on our list, the fifth thing you should be doing every single day is moderate exercise. And the key word here is moderate. See, a study was conducted in 2005 where they took a group of mice and injected all of them with a deadly mouse version of the flu virus. The researchers then divided the mice into 3 groups. The first group was given no task. They were simply allowed to rest in their cages. The second group was tasked with a moderate amount of exercise every single day, which amounted to about 30 minutes of running on a treadmill. And the final group was given the task of rigorous exercise. They were forced to run for 2.5 hours on the treadmill non-stop every single day. And here were the results. 50% of the mice who were tasked with nothing ended up dying. Only 12% of the mice who were tasked with moderate exercise died. And a whopping 70% of the mice who were tasked with rigorous exercise ended up dying. What this experiment suggests is that exercise is good for your immune system up to a certain point. If you are working out too hard, it can actually hinder your immune system, and this theory seems to translate to us humans as well. Studies that have looked at ultramarathon runners found that people have a 2 to 6 times higher chance of developing some sort of respiratory infection immediately after completing a marathon. So the key here is to make sure that you're getting some level of exercise every single day. Nothing too crazy. You can jog a little bit on a treadmill, you can go to the gym and lift some weights for like an hour, but don't push yourself way too hard and do a full body 2-hour workout routine every single day, because the research suggests that it will probably do more harm than good, especially when it comes to fighting off infections. Next up on our list, the sixth thing you should be doing is improving the quality of the air that you breathe. A study conducted in 2017 and published in the Journal of Immunology discovered that carbon nanoparticles, which are a byproduct found in car exhaust and in the air in big cities, can alter and hinder the function of certain important proteins in our immune system. Another study conducted in 2010 took a look at about 200 kids from California and found that kids who were exposed to higher levels of air pollution had suppressed levels of regulatory T cells, which are a special type of white blood cell that helps regulate your immune system. And if you live in an area where there's a lot of cigarette smoke, or if you are a smoker yourself, there are numerous studies that link the exposure to cigarette smoke with a suppressed immune system. All signs point to the fact that air pollution is bad for you. Now, for those of you that don't smoke, you're probably wondering, well, how in the world can I improve the air quality where I live, right? It's not like I can just move to a less polluted city. Well, if you have the funds, you can invest in an air purifier and put it in your bedroom and living room. Or if you have a tight budget, you could simply purchase some plants for your house. A study conducted by NASA found that the peace lily and the English ivy actually filter out many of the dangerous compounds found in the air in polluted cities. So that is an option as well. And finally, the last thing on our list of ways to boost and strengthen your immune system is making sure that you're well nourished. What do I mean by this? Well, there's always been talk about supplementing with things like vitamin C, E, and A in the form of multivitamins to ward off sickness. But to be honest, studies seem to suggest that unless you were already deficient in any of these things, taking supplements wouldn't really do anything. You could take a multivitamin if you want, but it's probably better to focus on making sure that you're eating a well-balanced diet that can provide you with all of the nutrients and minerals needed to maintain a healthy immune system. This means that you should be eating enough protein, enough healthy fats, enough leafy green vegetables and fruits every single day. But again, if you are worried about whether or not you are deficient in certain vitamins, you could head on over to www.trylgc.com/improvement pill and use coupon code PILL20 to grab one of their testing kits. They don't have a kit for vitamin C, E, or A, at least not yet, but one that I would recommend you to get is the one that covers vitamins D and B12 because, well, we talked about why vitamin D is super important in regards to regulating your immune system, and vitamin B12 actually plays a huge role in white blood cell production. So it's a very important vitamin as well. Other than that, these are the 7 things you need to be doing to make sure that your immune system is in tip-top shape so that you're prepared to ward off any incoming infections. Again, they are taking cold showers, reducing your stress, getting enough vitamin D, getting enough high-quality sleep, moderate exercise, improving your air quality, and making sure that you are well nourished. I hope you stay healthy and stay tuned.